Let us discuss now problem number 7. Enter the following transactions in the journal of Manohar, who is dealing in textiles. 2018 March 1st, Manohar started business with cash rupees 60,000. On 2nd, purchased furniture for cash rupees 10,000. On 3rd, bought goods for cash rupees 25,000. On 6th, bought goods from Kamalesh on credit rupees 15,000. On 8th, sold goods for cash rupees 28,000. On 8th, sold goods for cash rupees 28,000. On 10th, sold goods to Hari on credit rupees 10,000. 14, paid Kamalesh rupees 12,000. 18, paid rent rupees 500. On 25th, received from Hari rupees 8,000. And on 28th, withdrew cash for personal use rupees 4,000. So here, okay, you will be actually recall the steps of journalizing. Okay, so here let us actually discuss first the format. So we need to work out a journal. So let us see the format, how it goes. So first you will be actually using it requires only a single side. Okay, we don't use double page. So just a single side you take. Mark the format as date column followed by particulars column. LF, that means ledger folio. So this column is intended once, okay, the next stage of posting in the ledger is done. So the page in which this particular transaction is posted in the ledger, for that, okay, page number will be noted, followed by amount okay, for debit and equal amount of credit. This is how the actual okay, your particular format codes. So in our previous videos we have discussed about previous part how we will be classifying the accounts as personal, real and nominal, and also the golden rules. Let us discuss the steps in journalizing. For this, first you will read the transaction and then you will identify the accounts that are involved in these transactions. Okay, next, after identifying the accounts, you will also find out its nature, whether it is personal, real or nominal. After this, you need to apply the golden rule, and then you have to understand which account is to be debited and which is to be credited. And finally, you will be journalizing as per these steps. So now let us move on to discuss this problem number 7. So we will be actually opening the heading as in the books of Manohar journal entries. Okay, so you have just written a format for you. Date, where you will write the year, month and the days. Particulars, accounts to be debited, credited, and then followed by LF. This is when it is posted to the ledger as the next stage. That page number will be noted here. So for that, this column is helpful. Right now we are not going to use this. It is kept blank at the moment. And then you will show amount in the debit and the credit columns. So let us start journalizing. So 2018 March 1st. So here you can see that Manohar is actually started business with rupees 60,000. What are the two accounts here? One is Manohar's capital. Okay, and how is he giving this capital? In the form of cash. So the nature of Manohar's capital is personal because he is the giver. So in the personal, you will understand Manohar as the giver. Assume that way. And then cash is actually coming inside. Okay, debit what comes in. So what we will do here is we will be debiting cash here. Cash account debtor rupees 60,000. Okay, followed by crediting. Next we will credit here Manohar's capital account. Manohar's capital account is rupees 60,000. So write the narration. Okay, after every transaction you need to write the narration as a started business. Okay, so we are applying all the rules here. Okay, so this rule will be applied in order to journalize it easily. So what we have done, we read the transaction and then we identified two accounts, cash and Manohar's capital. And then what did we do? We have also actually identified its nature as cash being real Manohar's capital being personal. So for real we say debit what comes in. So we are debiting cash. In case of personal Manohar's capital we say credit the giver. Okay, this is how we are doing. Next transaction on second it says furniture is purchased. How do you purchase a furniture? With the help of cash. Okay, so the two accounts here is furniture and second one is cash. What is the nature of furniture? It is real. What is the nature of cash? That also is real. So both accounts that we have identified turns out to be real, and hence we are going to apply the golden rule of real alone. So in the case of furniture, you understand that furniture is coming inside, and you, what do you say? The debit what comes in. So here, as per that rule, I am going to journalize by debiting furniture account debtor. Okay, I write like that, rupees 10,000, and then cash goes out. No, to buy furniture you have to pay cash, rupees 10,000. So cash goes out. Thus you say furniture is purchased. Okay, so this is how you will be journalizing every transaction. So hope you are able to follow, okay, this second entry also. Okay, now transaction number 3. Let us move on third. It says that bought goods for cash. So here in case of purchases only we mention as bought. So instead of mentioning as stock, we will give the word purchases. Okay, so now what is the actual nature of purchases? So here purchases will be actually nominal because it is considered to be an expenses. In the case of nominal, what is the rule? Debit all expenses and losses. So we will debit purchases to the extent of the amount 25,000. How do we buy the goods? With the help of cash. So cash is actually real in nature, and because when we purchase goods, cash goes out, just as in the case of the second transaction, how we purchased furniture and cash goes out. Similarly, same explanation. So cash goes out and it is credited to the extent of 25,000. Just you say this is a cash purchase. So here I would like to recall you for you that transactions may be of three kinds. What are they? Cash, bank, and then credit. Okay, so far all the above three transactions that we have mentioned, they're all cash transactions. Okay, coming under what category? They're all cash transactions. So all cash transaction will definitely involve one account as cash. Okay students, now moving further, let us go to the next transaction. So here the date will be 6 now. Okay, so remember we will write the year and month once, and the date will be actually repeated one after the other. Okay, bought goods from Kamalesh on credit. This time it is on credit. As I was mentioning it to you earlier, transactions are of three types. Now we are talking about a credit transaction, and here no cash is actually paid to Kamalesh, and it is on a credit purchase. So as we see, when we buy goods, you will be considering as purchases which is nominal in nature. So debit all expenses and losses. So here what I am doing, I am debiting 15,000, and then here one account is purchases, the other one is not cash. So who is a creditor here? Kamalesh is a supply, he is a creditor. Okay, so creditor means it will come under personal category. So personal says debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here Kamalesh is the giver of goods. So what do we do? Credit Kamalesh account. So it's very simple. So here this transaction being a credit one does not involve cash at all. Okay, so just you say this one as credit purchases. So previous one I wrote as what? Cash purchases. This one is credit purchases from Kamalesh. Okay, just let me just show in brief. Okay, so this is how we will show purchases being debited and because it's a credit transaction, we are crediting this Kamalesh one. Next one is a sale transaction on 8, which says paid sales is made on cash, sold goods for cash, rupees 28,000. So here this is a cash transaction because it says for cash. Opposite to purchases is sales. Okay, so here you can make a guess. We had been debiting purchases in the previous two transaction. Similarly, here what can we do? Just take the opposite place, because when you sell, there is revenue generated, isn't it? So this is also a nominal type. So but we are actually getting cash because the cash sales. So here in this case, cash being real takes the rule as debit what comes in. So here what I do, I will be debiting here 28,000. So debit what comes in cash. Here what I do, I will be crediting all incomes and gains because sales is a nominal nature. So 28,000. So in the narration just mention two words, cash sales. That's it. Okay, let us now proceed to go to the 10th transaction, which says sold goods to Hari on credit. This also is a sale transaction, but this time it is credit sales, so cash will not be involved. Who is Hari? Hari is a customer. Because he is buying on credit, he becomes a debtor. Who is a debtor? A customer who buys goods on credit and is intended to make payment in the future. So here what happens, Hari is the receiver of goods. Hari is personal, isn't it? So debit the receiver. So here what I do, in the debit part, I just put here Hari. So he has bought goods from the business, from Manohar's business, the extent of rupees 10,000. And next is, as usual, what do we do? Sales being nominal, credit all incomes and gains 10,000. This time we write credit sale to Hari. Clear? Next, on 14th, we are that is Kamalesh is a creditor and Manohar is paying some cash to him. So this time Kamalesh, previously no, on 6th, Kamalesh was a giver of goods. This time he is a receiver of cash. Receiver of cash. So what do you say? Debit the receiver. Kamalesh being personal, debit the receiver. So this time they are paying him 12,000. How they what is happening? Cash goes out. Cash is real, so credit what goes out. So Kamalesh is paid in cash, isn't it? So cash goes out. So just you say paid Kamalesh. That's all. And then on 18, they are meeting some expense, which is rent. Rent is nominal. Nominal says debit all expenses and losses. So debit rent. Okay. So rent of 500 is payable. So what we have done, we have identified, we read the transaction, we identified that one is rent. Rent will be paid in cash. Another one is real. Credit what goes out, 500. So we identify the two accounts, and then what we do, apply the golden rule and then journalize. So paid rent, that's all. And then on 25th, received from Hari. Who was Hari? A debtor. Now Hari is paying the Manohar 8,000. So this time when we receive cash, cash comes in. Cash being real, it takes the rule debit what comes in, cash. So 8,000 comes into the business. From whom? Hari, the giver. Personal, no? So Hari is personal. So credit the giver. Okay, credit the giver. Received from Hari. Let us generalize the last transaction. Okay, it says on 28th, withdrew cash for personal use. When owner Manohar is introducing capital, he has all rights to withdraw some cash for personal use. To withdraw some cash for personal use. So here is withdrawing 4,000. Again, okay, we talk about Manohar as a personal. So here what happens is actually cash is now moving out of the business. So one is cash. What is another one? We say instead of okay Manohar's own money or something like that, we call it as drawings. Drawings is the account used in the case of a withdrawal the proprietor makes for his personal use or private use or maybe own use or domestic use. So these are the alternate terms you use. Okay, these four terms we use it alternatively to represent drawings made by the proprietor for his own use. Okay, so drawings is also personal. So here what do we say, like we normally treat as capital, no, for given by the proprietor, we will debit drawings. Okay, so why do we debit? Because here the owner becomes a receiver in this case. Okay, so to the extent of 4,000 he has withdrawn. How he has withdrawn? In cash. Okay, so he's withdrawn cash, that's what the word says. This is a cash transaction, so cash is involved. So 4,000 is being withdrawn by the proprietor. So just let me briefly show the narration. Withdrew for personal use. Okay, so that's it.